Why perform magic at night? Okay, so a couple of preliminaries first. One, I can't remember the last time that I made a video, although I think it was last month I fixed up some stuff for both Patreon members and the channel members on YouTube. So as of right now, I have early release videos going up for the Patreon members and the channel members. But I'm probably going to be making some exclusive content based off of the classes that I have made, and I'm planning many more for Udemy. If you guys don't know about my Udemy classes, I do have several on there, including Hindi Sigil Magic, Magical Theater, Magical Mechanics, Magical Protection, and Sigil class. And you can actually go on my Patreon and you can get one class a month. That is a tier on there. You can go on to Udemy, udemy.com, and you can take those the same classes over on Udemy also. So there's that stuff. I actually just made the outline for an evocation and invocation, basically a spirit summoning class that I'm going to be working on on my days off. So tomorrow I'm going to be cranking out as much of that class as possible. But my mission for today and probably first thing tomorrow is pumping out a bunch of videos, if not a month worth of them, because I ran out of my backstock of videos that I did back in March of 2020 when everybody was, you know. But yeah, so I finally fixed all of this up so it looks nice and pretty again so I can make videos. Anyway, I just wasted about 2 minutes. So why did we do rituals at night? First off, I wanted to say that I have explained this in other videos before, but this is a way where you guys can find simple, short answers to your questions that I can make smaller videos on. So you ask a question, boom, here it is. So a lot of times you'll see in texts and old witchcraft lore and stuff that rituals are to be performed at night. Particularly the Simon Necronomicon spellbook says do the ritual after 3 a.m. So why is this? 1.1 secrecy. So if you live in a house with a bunch of people, might get a knock on the door. You have up, work, home, TV, bed stuff that you have to do, and so doing the rituals at night means no one else is around to bother you, right? The other thing is, no one's going to know what you're doing because you can set up, do your stuff, take down whatever. So it's about secrecy, because back in the day, you didn't witchcraft was bad, and you didn't want your neighbors to know what you were doing because otherwise you were going to get drowned, burned at the stake, da 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 da, stuff like that. Oh man, read this book called Manufacture of Madness if you want to learn about the witch trials and jazz. I actually have that book up there somewhere, but I did it for a paper in a criminology class, and that was fascinating to see the idea of witchcraft as being, a religion to, oh my God, it's the devil, and then, oh hey, it's more accepted nowadays. So we just covered the secrecy idea. Now here's the biggest one for the idea of why do rituals at night. I personally, on my days off, I wake up around like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I don't even have to like set an alarm for it or whatever. My brain just knows, hey, it's a day off. Boom, up. Now, if you've ever noticed, and comment down below if you have this kind of same experience and stuff, but when you are awake that early in the morning, when no one else is awake, right? Doesn't it kind of feel different? There's less psychic energy moving around. There's less static energy around. The silence is more palpable, right? Also, because you're awake at a time when you're normally asleep, you have arguably an easier access to your subconscious because part of you might still be asleep. Now, if you were to stay up until 3 a.m., you have these cycles of, I forgot the brain chemical or whatever, but it builds up over the course of the day, and that's what makes you tired. And so, like, it builds up over the course of the day, you feel like taking a nap, you skip it, it drops down. Then it builds up over the course of the next several hours, and you're like, oh, hey, I want to go to sleep. So if you have that kind of pull towards the, like, sleeping, then you are, of course, if you go to sleep, what's going on? Your brain is firing and stuff even more active than normal waking hours, and once again, your subconscious is more easily accessible. Also because you don't have all this outer noise and stuff. Like if I'm doing a ritual upstairs and the wifey's doing stuff, dishes and whatever, then that's a distraction, you know? Or if you're trying to do a meditation or whatever and you hear the door opening and closing and the clinking of keys and whatever, that's a distraction. That pulls you back into the up, work, home, TV, bed, mundane world. So to do stuff at night when there's not that many outward distractions, you can go inward, right? So back to the energetics of it. When we're performing magic, we are moving energy around, right? Something is much easier to manipulate and move when it is not already moving. So think of it this way: you have a cup full of water, right? You sit it still; it's not undulating or whatever; it's not moving. You can tilt it, and it'll move one way. You can tilt it; it'll move the other way. You are the only one manipulating it. Now try doing the same thing as that when you are on an airplane during turbulence, right? It's moving around with the turbulence and stuff. Well, same idea with doing magic at night or arguably early in the morning, whatever. The point is you control the energy. There's no other person pulling or controlling your energy or the energy around you from moving, from thinking, and all this other stuff. Whenever we think, we are energetic beings and we interact with all the other energetics out there. Read the Kabbalion, it's called ether. We interact with the ether around us. If you follow metaphysics, then you know the vibrations of you can influence vibrations of other objects, other people, and it's about an attraction and a detraction kind of thing. So when we are the only players on the board, then we can command the energy the way that we want it to go. So, I mean, do you have to stay up until 3 a.m.? No. Do you have to stay up until 1 a.m. or however late you want? Okay, go for it. If you feel like that's when you can get into the mode of being like that centered self, that you can truly focus on what's in your ritual and what magic you're doing, then you can pick any dang time of day that you want to, because it's about being able to get to that place where you can bypass that affective filter and get into your subconscious, because that's where magic flows in and out when we communicate and interact with the ether around us to influence events and such and whatnot. If you can do that during the day when there's someone else in the house and there's other noise going on, all the more power to you. I've been getting better at it as time has gone on. I used to just do my stuff around 8 or 9 o'clock. Back when I was first getting into the Simon Necronomicon, I literally did one ritual a night, every night at 8:30, and then I would ground myself and go to sleep. And that became a routine. That's another thing. Routines. If you can routinely do something, the more power you're going to build into that time of day, the more connection and more bigger of a schema in your mind, as Piaget would say. That when it's this time and you're here doing this thing, you can access that subconscious and you're much, much more likely to be able to pierce through all the other distractible energies that are around you, because you get more used to dealing with that. It's like being very used to dealing with morning rush hour traffic. Somebody that does it all the time, no sweat. You know, somebody who just got their license or whatever, oh my God, I'm on the highway. That kind of thing. So rituals at night, good thing. Rituals whenever, as long as you can focus, good thing. So give it a try. Figure out the best time of day for you that you can effectively do a ritual and any magic thereof without any distractions. We don't really have to worry about the secrecy thing, but if that is the case for you, then you got to find a time when you can keep it secret, keep it safe. Yeah, good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of magical theater and magical mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.